Live from the 409 Mitchell Law Firm and Golden Triangle Emergency Center Orange present the 409 Sports Blitz on 12 News.
Hello and welcome to a very sweaty edition of the 409 Sports Blitz. Needless to say, it's football season, but it does not feel like football weather.
It has been a sticky day, Ashley, without a doubt about that, but still a great night for football. A lot of great action tonight, no doubt.
Tons of great action. Starting off right now, it was our game of the week. We pivoted. It was supposed to be Silsbee Jasper. A little COVID got in the way, so we're out here at the Orange Bowl. LCM West Orange-Stark. It's our game of the week. And what a game of the week it was. Cornell Thompson back on the sideline after missing last week. He was still recovering from COVID. Great to see Coach T back. Early on, opening drive. Riley Wilson going over the top to Jaden Jones. He keeps his balance and he is gone to the end zone. 7-0, and he's got all the celebrations you could want. Mustangs up in a hurry. But LCM, they would not lay down in this one. They would respond. In fact, Damarian Morris busting this one to the outside before he's taken down by a host of Mustangs. Now, after a pass interference call, LCM knocking on the door. Ashton Landry keeping it. It's a touchdown. We are all tied up at 7. But after that, the West Orange defense, they came to play. Carmelo Jones all over Landry. He's got himself a sack. He was feeling it. Stangs getting things going on the offense again. Landon heave to Darren Anderson. Big-time catch and a big-time first down. Setting up, who else? Mr. Elijah Gales, the workhorse of that rushing attack. And as we go to the latest, they are still playing as we speak in the fourth quarter. I can tell you there is 3:38 left on the clock. West Orange-Stark leading this one 39-20. It looks like they're going to win their 21st straight Orange Bowl game.
Continue to dominate the Orange Bowl, Ashley, but we keep things in the 409. Take it over to Port Arthur, where the Titans played host to Barbers Hill and the Eagles. Little coin toss at midfield. Those beautiful jerseys that the Titans have been wearing. Plenty of talent on this team. First play, throwing it all the way over to Kelby Blanchett. He's going to break out on a screen pass. Big hit, though. Oh! Look out. Ball on the ground. Ball security is job security. Turnover early in this one. Barbers Hill is going to take the rock.
They can, they will. They're Barbers Hill.
Absolutely. And we're back with Port Arthur with the rock again. Nice throw from Sanders. Open space. It's again Blanchett. This time he's going to make a couple defenders miss. He's getting to the sideline. He's turning on the Jets, and he's in for 6. So Port Arthur Memorial getting on the board there. Plenty to be excited about. We switch sides of the ball again here, though. Barbers Hill's going to get it back.
Look at the air they got there. They got some air.
That is airtime on the chest bumps. The Jordan sponsorship there. And like I say, now here goes Doug Gary. He's getting some space to run straight up the middle and all the way in to answer back. That puts the Eagles on the board. More chest bumps. Everybody getting in on the action. And then we go back to the other side of the ball one more time where it's the Titans. And again, Jamar Sanders and this connection with Kelby Blanchett. Real synergy here. He's airing this one out way downfield.
Look at him go.
And a great grab. That's just going to be striding it on in for 6 more. Gets tripped up there, but not before he gets his team a couple more points. Port Arthur dominant in this one again. They win the game 56-28 over the Eagles.
The Titans were just outside of the top 10 in 5A Division I. I think with a dominating win like this, after they already took care of Lancaster, PAT, they might be in the top 10 next week. And you got to look out for Brian Morgan's team. We were excited about this Titan team. They were picked to win district, but then they had a rough time in their scrimmage, so we're thinking, maybe overrated?
Well, you see that quarterback-wide receiver duo, and that is threatening without a doubt. 56 points anytime you're putting up that many points.
So what else pointing out here? Not overrated. The Titans, they look for real. Jamar Sanders, he can do it all over the field. How about we go a little further down the road over to the reservation, my old stomping grounds. The P&G Indians, they are taking on a very bright yellow-clad Beaumont United team, and that's Sir Zolikofer. And yes, sir, he's got himself a touchdown. And the Timberwolves, they take a 7-0 lead over the Tribe. The Indians, they've got themselves a defense this year. You know, they've struggled on D, and they're going to rely on a running game a lot. Kobe Trahan, he's going to take it in for the score, and all of a sudden, we are tied up at 7. This is not the typical P&G game. I know, Cam, you're just down here. Used to the scores to be 50-48 and craziness like that. Now they're going back to grassroots football. Defense, running game, and they would keep it going. How about Trahan again? The purple and white on a field of green. Prettiest sight I've ever seen. First down, Indians. But here come those T-Wolves. BU, they hung, with Westbrook for a while last week. You got to enjoy that. They played the rivals tough for the couple of quarters they played, and they looked tough tonight. Zolkoffer finding Jalen Moore, and he's got some wheels before he is tripped up by his ankles. But the Timberwolves couldn't get a touchdown, and we are still tied up at 7. So could the Indians do anything? We're going to say this name a lot this year. When they're inside the 5-yard line, you're going to hand the rock to Kobe Trahan. Touchdown, Indians, INDIANS, scalp them, Indians, scalp them. P&G up at this point, and it has just gone final from the res. P&G has topped the Beaumont United 21-17. The Tribe 2-0 to start the year.
They can just keep those scores low, hand the ball off to Trahan. You should be pretty good there. Indians, big-time stuff, way to bounce back in week 2, but we continue to turn the page. We go down to Bridge City, Tarkington on the road to face up with the Cardinals. And spoiler alert, it was all Cardinals in this one as they come out.
You gave it away already.
They come out the tunnel. First play here in the first quarter. Scrambling time for Ethan Oseguera. He throws it downfield, and it's a drop from Kyle Garlaska there. But chance for redemption. Here's Oseguera again. He's going to scramble on this play, gets outside the tackles all the way to the house and puts the shoulder down to break the plane. It's a lot of Oseguera in this one as well. Now he's throwing downfield. A great catch by Braylon Collins. That's good for 6 more.
That looked really smooth.
That was very smooth. Gets a little separation in here. Again, Oseguera. It's all Oseguera in this one. Stiff arm. Tough to bring down. Picks up the first down there. Cardinals still with the ball here. And another pass downfield. Surprise, surprise. It's to Braylon Collins again. That's going to start to move things towards the red zone. And watch out. You might miss it. I certainly did with the camera. Misdirection. Oseguera again in the open field. Little hesitation. Gets to the pylon there and stretches it on over. Lamar Jackson style there, reaching it over on the pylon. And again, all Bridge City in this one. It was 20-0 at that point, but the way it ended was even worse. We still got some more action here from the Cardinals. This one, a punt down the field.
Don't touch it.
And you do not want to touch
Don't
this,
touch
but
it.
instead they will pick it up, try to make a run here. Not going to get very far. It was just a tough one for Tarkington. Little chippiness there after the play. Everybody getting in on the fun. But like I say, Cardinals dominant in this one. Tarkington couldn't get anything going. 48-0. A long trip down, all for nothing. Not a very good showing there for the Longhorns.
They're going to be heading back to the Prairie with a loss tonight. And hey, Bridge City, they are 2-0 under Coach McGuire, who came over from Austin. Westlake Cardinals looking strong at this point. How about we check on some other scores from outside the area? Speaking of 2-0 starts, how about the Nederland Bulldogs? They take care of Houston. Austin going on the road, and they beat the Mustangs 41-6. And also another local team beating up on a Houston team. You see this a lot, by the way. Hampshire Finette takes care of Houston Wheatley 56-14.
It's always good to see a bounce back, too, especially in week 2. We got plenty of opportunities to face adversity. Orangefield, Woodville, 21-7. Orangefield continues to be 2-0 here in this early stage of the season. Then Brookshire Royal coming down to play East Chambers. Didn't go so well. It was 38-7 at the half. We'll probably get an update here later on in the show.
That's right. They were the Buccaneers were in control of that game. Kuntz, they shut out West Hardin 47-0. And Evadale, they bounced back after a tough loss against Kelly last week. And they get the win tonight over the Warren Warriors 18-13. Remember, Warren, they were out last week due to COVID. They were back. Great to see them playing. And at this point, non-district is just about getting better for the district games. Wins and losses don't mean a ton, but there are a couple of teams that are starting to show out a little bit.
Starting to show out, and I mentioned that adversity. You mentioned the COVID. You might miss a week or two. It's all about bouncing back. How do you get in the film room here? Week 2 is already a chance to kind of turn things around after week 1. We're seeing some teams do that.
And we saw something, what is a side effect of COVID. Some of the Jasper football players were here tonight giving us a hard time. Their game was canceled tonight because their school is shut down with COVID. Obviously, these kids don't have COVID. They're COVID-free. Coming to check out West Orange-Stark, and they want to talk about every game tonight. We love that. If you're not playing a game, come say hi. We like to talk to you, have a good time.
Yeah.
And you can give us a hard time because they were asking my opinions on some games, and you're just getting used to it after a while.
I told them I was picking Jasper. I am picking Jasper, but I think even if I wasn't, I was probably still going to tell them I was picking Jasper in that one.
Well, right now we're going to hit our first time out, and it was a quick pivot, like we said, for our new band of the week. We had 24 hours to get a vote in, and the LCM crew, they showed up with a vengeance. They are the band of the week. West Orange-Stark, and I would like to say, if you've never seen what we do to get these ladies to get a cheer bump together, it's hilarious.
It's not easy.
It's not,
It
because
is not
first
easy.
of all, it's a mouthful which you ask you to say, and we really appreciate when you do it. But kind of like when my wife wants her picture taken and make sure it's just right, they want to make sure that cheer bump is perfect because they want to look good.
It's almost like a taste of what we're doing, or you're doing a live shot. I mean, you really got to get your lines down and nail it on your first go, or otherwise I'm missing plays behind me. I'm like, oh no.
We got to
fumbles.
get this going, but we always appreciate it. Thank you, all the ladies in Southeast Texas that get those done for us. You know, last week, the Westbrook Bruins, they opened things up, but they only got to play 2 quarters of football. Tonight, playing a very tough Tomball Memorial team.
Absolutely. A lot of teams last week only getting to play 2 quarters. Now tonight, real hot. Fatigue may be setting in, but Bryce Anderson certainly has been impressive to watch. He's just going out there and having fun. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a good time. He already knows what's coming next in his life. So
that's right.
Just
Committed
a time
to Texas
enjoy
A&M.
it.
So let's go ahead and look at those highlights. Westbrook taking on Tomball Memorial tonight over at BISD Memorial Stadium.
Got some warm-ups going on. Getting the mascot out on the field, and then already jumping into the highlights. Jamichael Foxall with the short run, making a few players miss. Finally able to wrap him up and bring him down. The pig pile is what it's going to take in the end there.
Pile.
But
like
then
that.
It's Anderson throwing, almost intercepted here. It looks like it's going to be, but no, Dylan Hayward just barely going to drop that one. Now we switch sides of the ball. Tomball's chance. Completed pass, maybe. Yes, it actually is. A bobbled catch there for Corey O'Brien. Then it's Zach Fields. Look out. Great throw downfield. 64 yards for Fields. He goes all the way to the house for 6. That puts Tomball up 20-7. But wait, is there a flag on the play? Taking a look there. You see the referee's calling for it. Now we switch sides of the ball again. QB keeper. Handoff. And it's into the end zone. Westbrook answering back. Touchdown there. Gets him on the board. It's Anderson again in the shotgun. Letting it fly towards the end zone.
Wow.
Tangled up there. Is there a flag on that play? That might be the one with the flag. Now it's Anderson again. Fake handoff. He's going to take it himself towards the pylon. Truck stick into the end zone. Breaks the plane. And he's fired up for good reason. Then we got the extra point. Look out.
Uh-oh.
It's blocked. Loose ball. Somebody's got to get some hands on it. It ends up being scooped up. Nothing doing there. So the extra point no good. And then now, still in the red zone, another extra point here. Waiting for the referees to let this one fly. That one is going to be good. So second time's the charm there. A little redemption. 48-34, Westbrook, the Bruins, taking down Tomball Memorial and the Wildcats.
You know, and last year that game ended 66-63, Westbrook losing. And I picked against them, and I know Bryce Anderson is going to be messaging me later on.
Yeah, he just might for good reason.
It's exactly what he does. Anytime I pick against him, he lets me know. Love you, Bryce. Great family. Looking for him to do big things at Texas A&M. Now, remember we were talking about COVID and how it affected things this week. 8 games canceled. 8 games. But we did have 2 new games formed, including 2 new coaches in Southeast Texas. Over at Buna and Lumberton, they got together, made some calls, and you know what? They said, let's play a ball game. So let's go out to Raider Stadium, where, by the way, it was absolutely free to go to this game. You got to love this. Lumberton with the ball, wearing those road whites at home, looking icy. Find it, Lucas Powell goes to Cade Harmon, and that is a Raider touchdown as they take the lead over the Cougars. Buna, they opened up the season with a loss to Bridge City, trying to bounce back. Toby Marie, can't even read my own handwriting, sorry about that. Kyler Stark in for the touchdown, and here we go. But Lumberton, they would have a lot going their way. Christian Sellers, he's got a score. Lumberton's starting to pull away at this point, but Buna would go back to the air. On the other end, though, 50-50 ball, and it's going to go the L-Train's way. Robert Janda with the interception, and Lumberton rolls in this one to victory. Your final over Buna was 42-6. Great win there by the Raiders.
We'll jump right into the next one, Ashley.
Episcopal.
Episcopal. That one we knew was going to trip me up. They're going down to play Vidor, Pirate Stadium, Arg, matey. And it's already Vidor getting into the red zone. Out towards the pylon it goes, and it's Ricky Gow high-stepping that one in. Gets the Pirates on the board early. They've got some booty to be grabbed, and it's the Knights who are going to be trying to grab it. But it's still Vidor with the ball here. Broken play right up the gut. Look out, loose ball. Somebody's got to jump on it, and it is going to be the Knights. So Episcopal, their turn to make something happen. And watch out on this play. Pay attention. Play action, rolling out, pass going to be completed, and oh my, here comes the hit stick. Massive hit there by Seth Nunez. He's taking out Cole Bailey. That's going to be enough to get the defense fired up because now we got a loose ball. Another one, pig pile now. And it's going to be the Pirates coming out with it. Big old number 99. Jordan Smith with the recovery. That's huge for the Pirates, so they get the ball back. Handoff here outside the tackles. Weston Sepulvado. Size does not matter. Still getting to the outside. Throwing down the shoulder. Going to be a solid chunk of yards there for the Pirates. That puts them right on the goal line, and they're trying to stuff it in. Handoff to Alicia Simmons. Going to be good for the touchdown. So the Pirates looking pretty good in this one. 24-7 over the Knights. Solid game right there for Vidor.
That's right. And you said Episcopal, right, by the end of it.
Episcopal.
I'm very proud of you every single time. And I love it. But Vidor, they're 2-0. They put 51 points on the board last week against Silsbee. They had over 500 yards rushing.
That is scary.
That's the slot T mafia. That's what they do. They go every way. And Episcopal is a team that is usually full of D1 athletes. It's a private school that has just been a pipeline to the Division I level, so it's a great win there for Jeff Matthews. They are sitting at 2-0. But we did have some Thursday night lights out in Anahuac. They were taking on the Houston Fur Brahmins out to a beautiful Kyle White Stadium. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the new stadium out there, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's actually a couple of years old now, but still looks picture perfect. That is Christian Sanchez taking it in for the score. They would add a 2-point conversion, and the Panthers will take an 8-0 lead over Fur. More from AP. This time it's Landon Corbett. Get to know his name because he would just keep finding the end zone. It was 16-0. Corbett, again, splits the defenders, and that boy is fast. He's got himself a touchdown. Another 2-point conversion. Coach Greg Neese says, hey, let's roll for two every time. Two. 24-0 at this point. All of a sudden, it's 27-22. Corbett says, hey, just give me the ball again. He got himself another touchdown. It's 33-22 at this point, and I don't know if you've heard this guy's name before. Corbett. He's got himself another touchdown, this time from 17 yards out. It was a wild game out there in Anahuac, and the Panthers, they pull it off. Your final was 54-28. Anahuac evening their record after a tough loss to Orangeville to open up this season. Of course, now we do have a few more out-of-town scores we'd like to go over, so let's take a look at those real quick.
Yeah, we go to Overton, Burkeville, 26-14. Burkeville takes that one. Kip Houston and High Island.
No score.
Still looking for the score
tonight
on that one.
Sometimes the small schools, it's hard to find those. Holy Trinity, they are leading Chester. That last score we had in was from the fourth quarter. How about the Kelly Bulldogs? I picked St. Augustine. I am sorry. I was wrong. 55-35. Our Roy Thomas Jenkins.
He can play.
Our 409 Athlete of the Week. Freshman. I guarantee he threw maybe 2, 3, maybe a dozen touchdowns. Not that many, but still. Also, final other scores from tonight. We have one more, I believe, and no score reported from Legacy Christian and Galveston O'Connell. Those were 6-man football. I'll try to text the coach here actually during the break and see if we can get that one. But back out here at West Orange, it has gone final. They have cleared the field. West Orange-Stark winning this game over LCM 39-20. We're going to recap all that action as we return on the 409 Sports Blitz. welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz. Another exciting week. It felt good. First time out in the stadium doing the show. How do you like it?
It certainly feels good. Still getting used to Friday Night Lights, man. It's the real deal. I mean, this is just beautiful, actually. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. And we kind of blinked, and all of a sudden the stadium's empty.
Hey, man, once they got ahead in the final seconds, they know what traffic gets like, which means we get to get out of here real fast. But it was the game of the week. As I said multiple times this week, we were supposed to be in Silsbee for a big grudge match between the Bulldogs and the Tigers. COVID happened, so you know what you got to do. You got to pivot, right?
Yeah, the vid is out there, and unfortunately it's impacting football. But
it is, but
you got to have some adversity. You got to be able to deal with it.
We've learned this last year, and we're going to keep on doing it this year. So we came out here to Dan R. Hook Stadium, West Orange-Stark, LCM, the 409 Sports Blitz game of the week. And what a game it was. Cornell Thompson making his triumphant return to the sidelines. As I said, he spent a few days in the hospital recovering from COVID. Great to see Coach T back on the sidelines after missing last week. And you could tell his Mustangs, they responded in a big way.
A little extra behind him tonight.
Sure did. You know, Riley Wilson finding Jordan Jones. That offense was clicking last week. They only scored 6 points, and that was on special teams. And all of a sudden, hey, it's 7-0, and you could tell that Mustang swagger's back, and they were feeling it then. But here comes LCM's Demarion Morris. He's got himself a hole before being taken down by that Mustang defense. After a pass interference call, they got the coaches a little bit fired up, I can tell you that. Ashton Landry with the keeper touchdown, and we are all tied at 7. But look at this defense. Yikes! Carmelo Jones all over Ashton Landry. He's got himself a sack. Then West Orange-Stark going to the air, my friend. Landon Heath to Darren Anderson. Great grab there, falling on his back. Will set up Elijah Gales for another touchdown. Mustangs were up at the half, and they win this one 39-20. And usually this would be the time where we'd get our post game with the coach. But as I said, Cornell Thompson recovering from COVID. Tonight, it was just great to see him back on the sideline. I would not think of bothering Coach T right now.
Yeah, rather safe than sorry.
Probably, just happy to be on the sideline, getting his team a win, feeling good about things.
Well, absolutely, and like you said, I mean, for the Mustangs, you're coming out into playing for a coach who's an experienced coach. It's something that can get you up, and you can tell it did tonight. I mean, after a tough loss in week 1, to bounce back the way they did, get the offense going, that's got to feel pretty good. There were some big names in the house tonight to watch the Mustangs play. So,
in fact, yes, Deontay Thompson, who currently plays for the Arizona Cardinals, and former Seattle Seahawk and Baltimore Raven, Earl Thomas, he was on the sidelines as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how great is that, though, to see the guys come back, and especially, right now, Deontay, he's getting ready for the season, and he came in town to watch the game.
Yeah, that just shows you a lot, that there's a lot of respect there. But it was just a great game. LCM, you give them credit. They did show some life.
Hey, that's what I was about to say.
Couple turnovers.
I was about to give some respect. Respect to you, Cam, because before the game, he was behind the camera shooting the live shots, okay? And he told me, I think LCM can hang with them. I'm picking West Orange, but I think LCM can hang. And they showed a ton of heart.
Yeah, I mean, you got PV now coming in, offensive-minded coach. He wanted to play an offensive game. West Orange has got a great defense. They keep the score down pretty well. But, it's a couple of onside kicks that almost go their way. They force a fumble. They get the ball back. You can see some energy starting to get over there on that LCM sideline. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay off in a total comeback. But still, you got to give them credit where it's due.
I think that it can build on something in the next week and the next week and the next week, because there was a time here, like I said, this is the 21st straight win West Orange has had over LCM. Used to, those kids would see the Stangs on the schedule, and they're already sitting with the loss in their head.
Yeah.
That team didn't look like that tonight. They were fired up. They were going right back at the Mustangs, and I love to see that, because the Orange Bowl rivalry, it's called a rivalry because they're right down the road from each other and they played each other so many times, but it becomes a rivalry when the other team starts winning some games.
Back, yeah.
So, love to see that.
Taking home the Oranges, though, the Mustangs.
And Coach T, if you're watching this, these oranges are mine, by the way. We were going to give you some oranges, but I'll message your wife later on. We can deliver the oranges if need be, because I don't want you to yell at me, and frankly, I'm scared of you, Coach T, but we love you and glad to see you back here on the sideline. So now it is time for the next break. It is time for the 409 Sports Blitz hit of the week. And it comes from the Vidor Episcopal game, and this big boy got the big hit from Vidor for the hit of the week.
Yeah, that was Seth Nunez, and absolutely laying out Cole Bailey. We go to the zoom in, slow-mo, perfect form, Ashley. Helmet on the ball, not leading with the head at all, takes him out of bounds, pops right back up. No showboating, nothing like that. A lot of respect for Seth there, but a massive hit coming up and laying out Cole Bailey.
Congratulations. That's the 409 Sports Blitz hit of the week. That is a new technique.
Shorten it up a little bit.
But was that one cheerleader talking? It sounded like one.
It was. That was the captain.
The captain took charge. Take notes, because that was
pretty clean.
That was pretty clean right
Yeah.
there. You know what else is pretty clean? The P&G Indians record.
Yeah.
They're 2-0. The Indians tonight taking on Beaumont United, and they won that game 21-17. Another tight game last year. They played another classic over at BISD Memorial Stadium. Tonight, back at the Res, P&G makes it 2-0 in the series, taking it 21-17. And, you know, very own James Grant, he was out there to take it all in, and he's out there in the dark. He's in the dark. That's what that
They turned the lights off on him.
Actually, they're turning the lights off behind us.
On us right now.
Well, you got to love that. James, hey, man, you saw another close game, another great game, and just tell us about the atmosphere, and how about those Indians?
Well, Ashley, Cam, I mean, it was a great night to be wearing purple and white out here at the reservation. I started out the night down in Port Arthur, of course, the Titans taking on Barbers Hill, and, man, Titans quarterback Jamar Sanders was putting on a show through the air down there tonight. And then, of course, I made the trip up here to the reservation, and let me tell you, it was scoreless in this one, 0-0 after the first quarter. But then in the second quarter, that's when Indians running back Kobe Trahan really got it going. He had multiple touchdowns on the ground tonight. Man, he was just churning up yards. You know, the Indians able to convert a lot of their big drives into touchdowns thanks to Trahan. Some really strong running on the night. I would say he would be the offensive MVP, but I want to also point out Beaumont United, normally wide receiver, defensive back, Sir Zolikoffer. He stepped in tonight at quarterback, normal quarterback for the Timberwolves. Jonathan Martin, he was out tonight. Not sure if it's injury related or not, but Sir Zolikoffer with a big night. He was able to do a lot on the ground and through the air. Really was able to pick his spots. Really a tight game here tonight. The defense is really not a lot of mistakes on that side of the ball, but certainly Trahan, some big runs, able to score a couple touchdowns, and United quarterback Zolikoffer, man, really played well, able to do it through the air and on the ground, but ultimately P&G would hold on to win this one 21-17. They're now 2-0 on the year. Big win for them. We know United's a solid team. We saw them hang with Westbrook last week. So a lot of people leaving the reservation tonight with some big grins on their faces as they know there's still a goose egg in the loss column. So overall, great game. And like Ashley pointed out earlier tonight, Indians running back Kobe Tran, I'm sure we're going to be talking about him a lot this season.
Yeah, I appreciated that, James. Great recap from both games there. And one thing, if you're still with us, James, I just want to ask, a little bit about more of the defense because, P&G faithful have been hungry for a defense. They held Jasper to 7 points last week, only played 3 quarters. They hold United to 17. So that D's looking sharp right now.
That's exactly right, Ashley. They played really well tonight. It was balanced. There weren't a lot of big plays. I'm sure y'all saw in those highlights. United quarterback Zerzella Koffer had a couple throws there for some big yardage, but overall, this Indians defense was swarming the ball tonight, played really well. We know United has a lot of athletes on the offensive side of the ball, but the Indians really played well. That defensive line was able to get pressure on Zella Koffer tonight, and I think that really ultimately kept United out of a rhythm and kept the ball in Indians quarterback Cole Crippen's hands, which was good news for Indians fans. As they look good, they ultimately held on tonight.
All right, James, appreciate it as always. And, hey, Indians looking good, 2-0.
Looking good. You got to be happy about that.
I'm a little happy. I'm not biased. I love all my Southeast Texas teams in the 409. But it is time for another timeout. But before we hit that break, it is time for the 409 Sports Blitz play of the week. Our very own James Grant, he shot it tonight.
The play of the week.
Going
brought
back
to
to
you
more
by
of that
5
action
Point
from
Credit
Mr.
Union.
Grant. Yeah, and it's that Port Arthur game. A great throw from Sanders. He is letting it fly. That's a good-looking arm there, too, all the way down. Great catch and plenty of room to run it on in. That connection between him and Blanchette was really strong tonight. That continues throughout the season. Titans are going to continue to be a powerful team, a team to watch out for.
That's the 409 Sports Blitz play of the week. Hello and welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz. Hard to believe week 2 is already in the books.
Moving quickly, for sure.
I told you, once the season gets started, as long as we have no hurricanes, knock on every piece of wood in the world. No more, if COVID numbers can go down, that'd be even better. It's going to be a fun season, but it's going to fly by, and we're already through 2 weeks of the non-district slate, and we're going to start looking ahead now to week 3. And next week's schedule, there's a lot of teams out of town, but this is a game that I might be sending somebody down Highway 94, because Port Arthur Memorial taking on Crosby, a team that played for the state championship last year, and they pushed Carthage to the limit. They were up 17-0 on the Carthage Bulldogs before falling in that one. They were playing Manville tough the last I saw. So Port Arthur Memorial at Crosby, that should be a good one.
Big time measuring stick game there, Ashley. And Silsbee, Nederland, that also should be a pretty solid game.
That's right. You know, Nederland, they are sitting at 2-0, win on the road and just completely smashed Houston, Austin. Nice win there for the Dogs to move 2-0. They, of course, they opened up the season with a 14-6 win over these West Orange-Stark Mustangs we saw tonight. Silsbee, they fell to Vidor 51-48 and then had their game canceled, not because of COVID on their side, but Jasper schools. We're not blaming anybody on anything. We understand what schools have to shut down 100%, but tough. You know, they find out on Thursday that their game is canceled. But this is the one that I'm circling in the back of my head. I don't know, I can't speak right now. In the back of my head, of course, we're going to put it up for vote on my Twitter tomorrow. This is the Rice Bowl. East Chambers and Hampshire Finette, always a fun rivalry there. And then, of course, Huffman, Hargrave, and Bridge City. You've seen the Cardinals, and they're looking pretty good. Absolutely.
Looked great tonight. Offense was looking good. Defense was looking good. Shutout fashion for the defense. So, yeah, absolutely a threat. But I think I'm with you. I think EC and Hampshire Finette, that might be my vote right there.
Now, you know, and of course, you get the chance to vote on it. You just go to Ashley Elam Sports, and we usually put about 3 to 4 picks for you to vote on the game of the week. This week, it was going to be Jasper and Silsbee. Second place was West Orange and LCM. So it's important to get your votes in, because in case the game of the week is canceled, we're going to be looking right down to number 2. But I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of giddy. I want to see the Rice Bowl. It's always fun.
Absolutely. Anytime there's a name behind it, there's a rivalry matchup, it's always going to make things better. We saw that here tonight, the Orange Bowl. Both teams a little extra behind them,
so
and it made for a good matchup.
We're going to have to get some Doge's rice,
yeah,
and we're going to have to just put it in a bowl here. It's gonna be a little messy if we have a rice bath, but it's probably safer than throwing oranges at people too. So the Rice Bowl up for votes, probably the favorite to be our game of the week next week. And of course, we'll be keeping you updated throughout the week. And don't forget, next week, the 409 Sports Athlete of the Week returns. So great to have that segment back.
Absolutely.
And Roy Thomas Jenkins picked it off last week. I wonder who's going to get it this week. So it's
big shoes to fill there.
Definitely.
From a youngster, though, a freshman. I mean, that is crazy.
All right, folks. Well, that'll do it here at West Orange-Stark. The Mustangs win their 21st straight Orange Bowl over LCM. But let's say goodbye with the band of the week, the LCM Battlin Bear Marching Band.